Hi guys, myself Ritvik. So, since Chennai was affected by floods and because of that, schools were shut down. So, me and my friends thought that we could help the 12th standard people whose classes were cut due to these floods in our own way. So, moving on to the chapter relations. So, a relation is a subset of the set A cross B. Suppose if you are having two sets A comma B with the elements A, B and 1, 2, then A cross B is given by this A comma 1, A comma 2, B comma 1 and B comma 2. So a relation is a subset of this set A cross B, and the number of relations are given by 2 power mn, where m is the number of elements in A and n is the number of elements in B. Now moving on to the types of a relation. An empty relation. If R is a relation on A such that there is no element is related to any element in the given relation, then it is said to be an empty relation. For example, if we have a set A equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and if we take a relation such that R is given by A comma B such that A minus B is equal to 10, then we can see that none of the elements is related to any other element in the given relation, neither to itself. So it is an empty relation since there are no elements in that. Now the second type, it's a universal relation. If each and every element of A is related to every element of itself, then such a relation is said to be a universal relation. So if in the same set, if you take a relation such that mod of A minus B is greater than or equal to 0, then we can see that each and every element is related to the element itself as well as all the other elements in the set. So such a relation is said to be a universal relation. Now moving on to the other main three types: reflexive, symmetric and transitive. A relation R is on set A is said to be reflexive if we have A comma A for each and every A belonging to the set capital A, and a relation is said to be symmetric if we have an element A comma B which belongs to the relation, then that must imply that B comma A must also belong to the relation. Such a relation is said to be symmetric. And the third is transitive. If we have two elements in a relation A comma B and B comma C, then it must imply that A comma C must also belong to the relation R for all A comma B comma C belonging to R. Such a relation is said to be transitive. And the equivalence. Equivalence is a combination of all three relations. A relation is said to be equivalent relation if it is reflexive, symmetric as well as transitive. Now let's see few examples. First, if you take a relation, if you take a set A equal to 1, 2, 3, and if we have a relation given by these elements. Now in the first relation we can see that we have 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2 and 3 comma 3. So it satisfies the first condition, which says that A comma A must belong to R. So we can tell that it is reflexive. And for if we have 1 comma 2, then there must be another element 2 comma 1 which is not present in this relation. So we can say that it is not symmetric, and since we have 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 3, we must have another element 3 comma 1 which is also not present. So we can say that this is only reflexive and not symmetric, neither transitive. And we have another relation given by 1 comma 1 and 2 comma 2. Since 3 comma 3 is not present in this relation, we can say that even if 1 comma 1 and 2 comma 2 are present, since 3 comma 3 is not present, we can say that it is not a reflexive relation. Now if we take a set A equal to 1 comma 2, and if we have a relation given by 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 1, so we can say that since 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 1 is also present, it is a symmetric relation. So this relation is symmetric but neither reflexive nor transitive. Similarly, if you take a general case of set A, which represents the set of all lines in plane, and if we have a relation L1 comma L2 such that L1 is perpendicular to L2, so if a line is perpendicular to another line, so obviously the second line must also be perpendicular to the former. So if L1 is related to L2, then L2 must also be related to L1. So we can say that this set is symmetric. But no line can be perpendicular to itself. So A comma A is cannot be a part of this relation. So it is not reflexive. And similarly, if a line is perpendicular to another line, if L1 is perpendicular to L2 and L2 is perpendicular to L3, then L1 must be parallel to L3 and L1 is not perpendicular to L3. So L1 comma L3 won't come in this relation R, so it is not transitive also. So this relation on a set of all lines which says that L1 comma L2 such that L1 is perpendicular to L2 is neither reflexive nor transitive but symmetric. Now if we have a set A equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3 and have a relation on that given by 1 comma 2, 2 comma 3 and 3 comma 1, since there is no element satisfying the first condition A comma A belong to R, it is not reflexive. Similarly, we have 1 comma 2 but there is no element 2 comma 1, so it is not symmetric. And third part, we have an element 1 comma 2, we have 2 comma 3 and we have 3 comma 1. So there's A comma B and B comma C also, and we also have A C. Sorry, this is the relation. Since 1 comma 2, 2 comma 3 and 1 comma 3 is also there, we can say that this is a transitive relation. Now moving on to the next example, if we have a set A, which is the set of all triangles on a plane, and a relation is given on that such that a relation is given R equal to T1 comma T2 such that T1 is congruent to T2, then we can say that a triangle is congruent to itself. So T1 comma T1 is present in this relation, hence it is reflexive. And if T1 is congruent to T2, then T2 must also be congruent to T1. So this relation is also symmetric. Similarly, if T1 is congruent to T2 and another triangle T3 is also congruent to T1, then surely T1 must also be congruent to T3. So we can say that this is transitive, and since it proves all the three conditions, since it is reflexive, symmetric as well as transitive, we can say that it is an equivalent relation. So that's all for today. Thank you guys.